here, though, I need to tell you a couple of things that are important to understand the results that we're going to tell you about. First of is how ballot images are created. We believe that ballot images have been destroyed. We're going to give you the evidence. But I want you to understand that the ballot images are created automatically by the machine. The machines cannot tabulate results without the images. That's how they scan the images in order to tabulate the results. So the way that works could be one of three ways. On mail-ins, typically might come in, and they're scanned onto memory sticks, which are then loaded onto the election management server. At the precinct, if you vote on election day, those machines, the scanners, tabulators, have a couple of memory cards in them for redundancy, and those are loaded to the server later. The third possibility is that your ballot could be scanned with a high-speed scanner in heavily dense populated areas, and then that is directly connected to the network. So one of the good things, you know, I'm always criticizing Dominion for a lot of reasons, but this is one of the good things that they did. You've got three different ways to get your ballot images into the election management server that every county has. So that is a really good thing, but the most important thing to understand, it's automatic and it's used to tabulate the results. The system cannot produce results without those ballot images. A little background on election record and ORR law. The election records, as I think probably most everybody knows, have to be retained for a period of 2 years. Technically, that is 22 months federal law and 24 months state law. Those are the requirements, and we put the code sections up there. That's pretty common sense. I think most everybody knows that. Another thing I want to just mention we're going to get into is open records request law. Most of you know that Georgia has a really good open records request law, and it has some provisions that the people who are supplying and fulfilling the request cannot, I don't know if you can read this down there, but they cannot knowingly and willingly frustrate or attempt to frustrate access to records, intentionally making records difficult to obtain. So, and that is actually a misdemeanor. So just keep that in mind as we go through this, and we'll get a little bit more to that on the end. So now you've been very patient. I want to give you the results of what we have found out. So basic 74 of the 159 counties in Georgia cannot produce those original ballot images for the November 2020 election that were created automatically by the system. They have been destroyed. And that's a violation of Georgia and federal law as the way that we look at it. You can see very easily, this is my favorite slide. I think this will, we worked on this very hard, at least Jason and Dana did. But you can see in the red, those are the counties that either didn't comply or destroy the images. Green are the counties that are good. So how does this break down? 6 admitted that they had no images at all. 22 admitted that they have no original images, but they do have the recount images. And I'll tell you why that's no good. So that's 30 of them who have no original images at all. 28 more said that they had partial images, and they could be missing all of the mail-ins, they could be missing all of the in-persons, they could be missing huge groups of images for various categories, mail-in, in-person, and so on. And then we have 18 more that have failed to comply with the open records request law from our